Welcome to another video. Let's divide 20 into 4 parts which are in AP such that the product of the first and the fourth term is to the product of the second and third term in the ratio 2:3. Okay, so which means that for 4 parts which are in AP, let's consider that for 4 terms in AP, okay, it will be easier to make use of a minus 3d, a minus d, okay, a plus d, and a plus 3d. So this one is easiest, okay. All right, so their sum, okay, the sum of the 4 terms now will be a minus 3d plus a minus d plus a plus d plus a plus 3d will be equals to 20. So that now we know that negative 3d plus 3d will be 0. Negative d plus d will be 0. A plus a plus a plus a, that will be 4a. And this will be equals to 20. So dividing both sides by 4, okay, we're going to have a to be equals to 5. So the first term, the value of a in this case is 5. Okay, now according to the question, we are given that these 4 parts which are in AP, okay, are such that the product of the first and the fourth, let's not forget that the first term in this case is a minus 3d, the second term is a minus d, the third term is a plus d, and the fourth term is a plus 3d, okay. So such that the product of the first and fourth term is to the ratio, is to the product of the second and third term in the ratio 2:3. So which means we know that the product of first term and fourth term, okay, divided by the product of the second term and the third term is equals to 2:3. Okay, so which means from here we know that this will be a minus 3d multiplied by a plus 3d divided by, now then for the second term we have a minus d multiplied by a plus d, and this is equals to 2/3 ratio. Okay, all right, so in this case now we can see that this will give us, we have a difference of 2, this will give us difference of 2 squares. That will be a squared minus 9d squared. And this also will give us a squared minus d squared. And this is equals to 2/3. So if we cross multiply, this will be 3 parentheses a squared minus 9d squared equals to, then we're going to have 2 parentheses a squared minus d squared. Okay, so that in this case, if we expand this will be 3a squared minus 27d squared equals to 2a squared minus 2d squared. So now I can rearrange this to be 3a squared minus 2a squared. Then I'll move this to the right hand side so that we can have 2d squared plus 27d squared. Now 3a squared minus 2a squared is 1a squared. So this will be a squared equals to 27d squared minus 2d squared. That will be equals to 25d squared. 25d squared. So which means a will be equals to, now we got a to be 5. We got a to be 5. We know that a equals to 5. So which means 5 squared equals to 25d squared. So dividing both sides by 25, we're going to have d squared to be equals to 1. Then d will be equals to plus or minus square root of 1, which is also plus or minus 1. So which means d equals to plus or minus 1. Okay, now let's now get the 4 parts, okay, which are in AP, or the 4 terms which are in AP using this, okay. So now we know that first, we know that when D is equals to 1, okay, we know already that A is 5. So we have 5 minus 3 times 1, okay. Then for the second part, it will be 5 minus 1. For the third part, it will be 5 plus 1. Then this is 5 plus 3 times 1. So that this will give us 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, these are the 4 parts. Okay, when D equals to 1, and we know that A equals to 5. Now, when D is equals to negative 1, and we have A to be 5. Okay, so this will be 5 minus 3 times negative 1, comma, then 5 minus negative 1, comma, then 5 plus negative 1, comma, then 5 plus 3 times negative 1. Negative times negative is positive, so this will be 8, because this will be negative times negative is positive, so this will be 8, then this will be 6, okay, and then this will be 4, while this will be negative 3, and that will be 2, because negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, okay. Then negative 3 plus 5, that will be 2. So we have it in this order. So which means for the first one, we have it in ascending order. Then for the first part, when D is equals to minus 1, we have the what? The terms to be in what? Descending order. So any of these two works best, okay? So these are the 4 parts, okay, in AP. So you can say, therefore, 2, 4, 6, 8 are the 4 parts, okay, in AP, okay, whose sum, that is, when we add them together, 2 plus 4, that will be 6. 6 plus 6, that will be 12. Then 12 plus 8, that will be 20. So whose sum is equals to 20? The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding.